What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a virtual foundation. We got some stuff cooking on the way, and we're gonna get into it probably in the next, I'd say, week or so. But this is only an episode for you guys. Welcome. I'm Malcolm Harris, of course. My boy Joseph Guthrie with me. What's up, Jay?
What up, Malcolm? How you doing,
What
brother?
up, boy? I'm good. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Just like most other people, trying to fight through the 2 days of this work week, make it to
Yeah.
Christmas, and just coast. So
It's here, man. The holidays are here, and this some ball we watched this past weekend we want to get into, but just exciting times, man. We got a lot to be decided, and I know that you saw this game. I mean, you saw all the games, but I guess the game of to me the weekend was out of Norman, Oklahoma, bro. Looking at OU, Alabama, bro. That scene out of Norman, that was crazy, dog.
yeah, um, I saw a tweet from one of the Ohio State pages,
Yeah.
and I've never been more in Ohio State's corner than I was during this because he tweeted out like the pregame scene and the light show, and he was like, "Big noon kickoff, and Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt should be in prison because Ohio State never gets night games." And I was like, you know, you're right, because looking at what Oklahoma set up for that playoff game and watching what they did for this to create this scene was just it was incredible, man. And they mentioned it, I think, on pregame on the broadcast. We need more of these.
Yeah.
We need more at home playoff games
Yeah.
because
I
that
agree.
was just what a spectacle from Oklahoma.
I don't remember if it was you that said this, but bowl games are going to be irrelevant in a few years, just with all these opt outs. Was that you that said that?
So I don't want to say that they'll be irrelevant. It was close, but what I had mentioned was that like when Notre Dame opted out,
Yeah.
it made me fearful that other brands would be like, well, if Notre Dame's not doing this, we're not going to do it either. Now, I do think you'll have coaching staffs and coaches and players and schools with like the culture of, we just want to line up and play football. So I think those teams will still look for bowl games, but it makes me, I don't know, just fearful that we'll get other teams that are like, oh, hey, we're right on the edge of the playoff. We didn't make it. We're not going to play a bowl game.
I almost think that bowls need to be shifted to the first game of the season. And hear me out.
Okay.
Like these big premier matchups between like Texas and Ohio State this year, that 1-2 matchup. That
Okay.
should have been like the Tostitos Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like giving everybody's health on health, strength on strength. You
Uh-huh.
can't opt out of it. You have to play the game. Like these should be like kickoff games in my eyes. And then have like on the back end
Okay.
for like the playoffs, like you can keep like the normal bowl games, but like just
Uh-huh.
get that out of the way originally. What are your thoughts?
I, I think I've seen that floated around,
Yeah.
and I like the idea of getting bowl games as long as people play in them. I'd be interested to see what it would be like if we did that, and then maybe it was like we I don't want to say didn't count the record because then they'd be like, I don't know, it's a big factor. No, that would be stupid. That would be stupid. What I was about to say was so stupid. I mean, I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with bigger matchups at the start of the season. The problem is if we're gonna have these bigger matchups, they need to be adequately weighted. And what I mean by that is like they need to be properly valued by the committee. Otherwise, you're going to get schools that'll be like, "Yeah, we're not going to do this. Like, we're not going to like if Miami would have gotten left out over Notre Dame in the playoffs this year, Miami would have been like, okay, not doing that again."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd love it. I'd love more big matchups, and if you want to call it the Tostitos kickoff, whatever, I'm fine with that. But at the same time, I want on campus games. I
Mhm.
mean, I like the neutral site Chick-fil-A kickoff is cool because we get like Georgia Clemson, we got like Ole Miss TCU one year, or that might have been a bowl game. But like I like games on campus, like Baylor Auburn. I love that that's a home and home.
Yeah.
So like if Tostitos wants to do like a hey, we're going to sponsor a home and home, and they're just going to put our logo on the field for the home team, I'd be more willing to do that than like hey, Tostitos is doing a bowl kickoff game and we're shipping Ohio State and Texas instead of playing at Columbus and at Austin. We're going to ship y'all out to Vegas. I would be fine. I think that's actually way more possible
Yeah,
than
I agree.
than and I don't think I've heard anybody throw that out. It's like, hey, why don't we do home and home? Like, why don't companies sponsor home and homes and the school just because like Auburn already does that with Yellowwood.
They
And it's like, hey,
do.
for this specific game, we're it's Tostitos. And Tostitos is going to have their logo on the field, and it's going to be the Tostitos kickoff brought to you by or the Tostitos kickoff at Jordan Hare Field, and it's Auburn and Baylor.
So
You know?
basically taking the concept of a bowl game and
Yeah,
just bringing it to campus. I love that.
yeah, and I think that still gives the brand recognition, and they get the marketing that they want. You get a boost in the NIL fund for each school because, like, yeah, like let's take Auburn Baylor for example. Baylor would have got it this year because it's at Baylor. Auburn gets it next year because they're shifting the game to Auburn.
Yeah.
But I think the big holdup there is if those games get adequately weighted by a committee. I think that's the part where people get hesitant about scheduling these big home and home games. Plus, with the SEC and probably the ACC to follow suit, I'd say sooner rather than later, moving to 9 conference games, you're now playing what 10 to 11 Power Four opponents a year.
Yeah, and you gotta still have, a game for a tune-up, right? Like,
Yeah,
for Georgia, like, Georgia's gonna have to play Georgia State, they're gonna have to play Marshall. For Tennessee, you're gonna have to play a Tennessee Martin, like,
yeah,
UTC, just because it's always kind of like, those games keep those athletic departments, like, running and afloat. So, now I hear what you're saying. I think that, like, for this Oklahoma-Alabama game, like, I think there should have been, like, a, "Hey, this is, like, the Dr. Pepper Classic," or something. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
well, for the playoffs, like we can leave it the playoff, the
yeah,
first round. But if this game, like, if specifically if we opened the season with like, who is it, Arizona and or let's take the Pop Tarts Bowl, Georgia Tech and BYU.
yeah,
Like if that game was at the beginning of the season and it was at BYU, it was in Provo, and there was just Pop Tart logos all over the field,
yeah.
and like Pop Tart badging, and like I low key I love the sprinkled helmets
I
in
love the
between those.
helmets too. I
I
think
think
that
they're
looks really
sick.
cool.
I personally think they're awesome.
The best helmet I saw, outside of, those was the Cows helmets. They're bowl helmets. It's like an all yellow.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you saw it, but yeah,
Uh-uh.
check it out. It's like an all yellow helmet with like a reimagined cow logo that they use, and they are pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I like them a ton, and yeah, Cal's always got like a nice colorway. But no, I do like the helmets, and I wish that more teams would do and take more risk when it came to uniforms and bowl games. Like I think that should be a thing.
For sure, dude. Especially if you're in like a non-playoff bowl game. It's like, dude,
Yeah,
have fun with it.
yeah, for
By the way,
sure.
I looked up this helmet. This is sick.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
The Hawaii Bowl.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, these things are sick, dude. Let
Like
me
those need to be incorporated full time. Like that is raw.
yeah, that thing's gnarly. Um but as far as Alabama Oklahoma goes,
Yeah, man.
what'd you see in this game? What were your thoughts?
Well, I immediately in the first quarter, I was like, Alabama is about to absolutely get ran out of the building. I took Oklahoma minus 2.5 in the first quarter, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm going to sleep. Like this is done. Like this is an easy, you know."
Yeah,
And they just went away from what I thought was working the entire time. I think that you could tell John Mateer in the first quarter, the ball was coming out of his hands extremely nicely. Like
mhm.
earlier in the year, John Mateer, when he was the week 3 Heisman Trophy winner,
Oh,
but
yeah.
his decision making just wasn't good, and I think once they went away from the run, that's when things really got crazy. I think the pick six, it spooked him. I think that Alabama was losing at the line of scrimmage for the first half, and then the second half, they just completely, to Kalen DeBoer's credit, just made adjustments that were out of this world. They put in a QB spy to keep Mateer in that pocket, so he had to make decisions, couldn't use his legs that were killing, absolutely killing, um, uh, Alabama, and just overall, man, I think that, for the first time, that pass rush from Oklahoma, it was getting home, and then it just got neutralized real quick. I don't know what necessarily happened, but what are your initial thoughts, bro?
Yeah, man, it feels like these two teams. Like if you look at Oklahoma and hold up a mirror, you'll see Alabama in the reflection. And the reason I say that is because obviously Oklahoma's defense is really talented. I think Alabama's defense isn't credited for being as talented as they are.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, they have a passing attack. They're better on the end than they are at running back. Both these teams are. Obviously, Alabama's receiver room is better than Oklahoma's. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just
yeah.
saying like
No,
in
I
terms
agree.
of team makeup. What's up?
No, I said, yeah, no, I completely understand what you're
Yeah,
saying.
just in terms of team makeup, like I would take Alabama's receiver room over Oklahoma's. That being said, it feels like these teams are the same team. Um, Now, I mean, you might say, okay, well, I'd take John Mateer over Ty Simpson. I don't know if I'm with you on that. I'd
No,
probably take Ty.
I'm taking time.
Um, but either way, I mean, neither one of these teams can run the ball well. I mean, Alabama had 25 carries for 28 yards. If you count, if you take out like sack yardage, they had 16 carries for 54 yards, which is a little bit better. But Oklahoma had 33 carries for 55 yards. So neither one of these teams has any kind of consistent ground game. And when you do that, eventually you get to a point where a defense will be like, oh, hey, we don't have to worry about them running the ball. We can just kind of change the way we've been playing defense. And I think you saw that from Alabama a little bit. Um, and aside from that, this game was the total opposite of what it was the first time.
Yeah.
Alabama had less yards, but they ended up with the turnovers, the pick six. Their special teams was much better for them in this game than it was the first time around. Like I think the inefficiencies of Oklahoma's offense and the parts of them that ask John Mateer and one of the receivers, whether that's Deion Burks or Satania, to do everything, just caught up to him. And the Oklahoma defense wasn't able to cover that gap this time.
Yeah.
In other games, prior games this season, they've been able to cover it. Ole Miss, they couldn't. This game, they couldn't. And I think that's been Oklahoma's downfall is that they've been so good on offense and so good on defense and so even before the Mateer injury, and I know like he did really good against Michigan, they were just so inconsistent on offense. And it's something that we talked about when we talked about Alabama, and I don't remember which game it was. It might have been, good Lord, sorry. I don't know if you can hear that in the background.
No, no, no,
Um,
you're good.
I, when we talked about Alabama, I think after the Missouri game, I'd told Drew, I remembered, I don't know what game it was. I don't know when it's going to be, but Alabama's inefficiency to run the ball and inability to run the ball is going to cost them. And ultimately, we saw it happen.
Yes.
I think the same thing happened to Oklahoma. I think their inability to run the ball and their inability to close out a game when they had a lead, having 17 points over Alabama, showed up. And it allowed Alabama to crawl back into this game because Oklahoma's at, they have to shift their philosophy on offense. They have to start passing the ball more. And then next thing you know, there's a pick six. And momentum shifts and Alabama's right back in it and they're feeling great. And then next thing you know, it's a 10-point win for the Tide.
It was just an errant throw by John Mateer, and, like, he was slinging it, like, to his credit, like, I don't wanna just sit here bro, the first quarter and some change was probably some of the best football I've seen from Mateer in a very, very long time. Like, it was awesome. I mean, him, it was I wanna say this play was either on 2nd or 3rd down in the red zone where, he was looking to run, and it was like an RPO, but a fake RPO, and there was a
Mhm.
wide open breaking in route from the slot, and I mean, he just put it on him. Like, it was beautiful. I mean, they just I I have to give all credit to Kalen DeBoer and his guys because they looked at adversity in the face, and you got to think about it, man. That's a 27-point swing when you
Hmm.
really think about it. You're down 17-0, and you win by 10. Like that is a statement. And
Yeah,
Nick Saban, he was like, if you're Alabama, like you win this game. Like he was like, I'm the only person who believes, and that's fine. But like I know the fabric and the DNA that this is a championship program still.
yeah,
And I'm not saying that they are, but I said that was a championship effort that they put, and I, for one, would not want to play Alabama. And I mean, Jeremy Bernard, bro, Isaiah Horton. I mean, those boys. It's crazy that Ryan Williams is now definitively the third best wide receiver in Alabama's wide receiver. He may
pretty
be
good.
even fourth.
He might be fifth.
That's crazy
And,
to
and
say,
the
bro.
reason I say that is because Latsir Brooks has come on strong as a
Yeah,
freshman this
man.
year, and then they also got Josh Cuevas back
Yeah.
at
So
tight end.
it's like, all right, like Ryan, like I don't know. It has to be between the ears because he doesn't look hurt. Because I'm looking, it was specifically early on in the game, in the first quarter. It was a third down pass. And I mean, he like slips and falls down. It's like it's just weird, bro.
Yeah,
Like he was called Hollywood for a reason. Like last year, we saw this. You remember, 17-year-old phenom,
yeah.
pop
Oh yeah,
onto the
I remember.
scene, and
I
like
remember.
he looks like a shell of himself. So I'm anxious to see. All right, like what is Alabama gonna do next against a team that, from personnel standpoint, Alabama has better talent than Indiana, no question.
Hmm.
I
They
mean,
do.
they just do. They are much better talented team,
Yep.
but
So was Ohio State.
so was Ohio State.
Yep.
Coaching matters, and Kirk Zanetti, I mean, he has them right. Currently, Indiana is what, a 7-point favorite against Alabama?
I think it's down to so on ESPN it's down to 6.5.
Okay.
And I think their numbers come from DraftKings now.
Yep, officially the
So
sportsbook of ESPN.
yeah, I think it opened at 7.5, and I figured it'd get bet down. I figured it'd close it around like 5.5 for Indiana, but we'll see. I mean, it might hold at 6.5. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that's ambitious. I'll be honest with you. I just don't see. I don't see Indiana beating these boys by 6.5. I see by 3. It's gonna be a close game, but
yeah, yeah, and we'll get into previews, but I think some of the things that Ohio State's defense was able to do to Indiana, I think Alabama will be able to do, and I
yeah,
think Indiana's defense will be able to do something similar to uh, to Alabama that they did to Ohio State. So it'll be a really interesting game for sure.
let's stick in the SEC real quick, man, and go to A&M because, buddy, if you liked old fashioned defense, snooze ball, this was for you. I watched this game in its entirety, bro.
Yep, yep.
Thoughts? Just where were you at whenever watching this, man?
Um, my initial thought is that it's not good when you have to make Marcel Reed beat you through the air. And or sorry, it's not good for A&M when they met when an opponent makes Marcel Reed beat you through the air. Because I think we saw this in a couple of his games towards the end of the season. Also in the Texas game, I think he threw 2 interceptions as well. But the Miami defense, man, they bowed up. They did not let him have any kind of impact with his legs at all. They kept the run game pretty much in check, and they forced him to throw the ball, and it was ugly. And ultimately, I mean, it led to 2 interceptions, one being the game winning interception in the end zone. Um, and I remember on the broadcast they talked about how he was late on the ball.
Yeah.
The tight end, I think it was tight end, either tight end or slot receiver was open in the end zone, and Marcel was just late. And I think it's something that I think Marcel Reed's a really good football player. I think he's really solid for Texas A&M. But I think if they want to take the next step, Marcel's either got to improve as a pure quarterback, or maybe they explore another option with the transfer portal. Again, I don't want to take away from A&M because, like, yeah, it sucks losing this first round game, and it sucks that your season kind of ended the way it did. You ripped 11 off in a row, and then you lost your last two, which were your by far your most important games of the season, being at Texas and Miami at home. But I can see the vision with Elko. I can see the progression. Last year you're like 8-4. Um, this year you're 11-0, and then you end up 11-2. Next year you maybe take another step, win a playoff game next year, maybe make the SEC championship game next year. But I say all that to say, I really undervalued this Miami defense when we previewed this game, and what led me to pick Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I really undervalued their ability to keep Marcel in check, create pressure on him, and cover these receivers, because they did a much better job than they did last year on defense. And I wish I could remember the coordinator's name. I could see his face, but it's escaped me. He has totally flipped that side of the ball, because last year this was a game they're giving up probably 45,
100%, bro.
38,
100%.
and they're having to do a scoring race, and they did just enough where they were able to give their offense a chance. Where, no, it wasn't a great day for Carson Beck, it wasn't a great day for the offense, but they were able to hang around and keep themselves in the game long enough for Malachi Tony to do what Malachi Tony has done all year and make a play. And they did that late in the game. Scored the game winning what would be the game winning touchdown. But yeah, man, all the credit to Miami's defense. They were absolutely incredible in this game. And again, we'll get into this game next week. But after watching what Indiana was able to do to Ohio State's offense,
Buddy.
it makes me think. I mean, 9.5 is a lot of points. I'd be very interested to watch that Miami defense versus Ohio State's offense.
First off, Ruben Bain made himself a unanimous top 3 pick. He's not going to escape the top 3.
Dude made himself some money.
Yeah, I mean, it was egregious at times. I'm like, okay, like this guy's it's gonna translate to the next level, because not even the flash plays, but it was like every single down, you could just tell he was very overwhelming to handle. I mean, he was getting freaking chips. I mean, he was just all different types of help being lent to his side. Like he really kind of almost took over that game. So with that being said, man, first off, Marcel Reed, I think that you have to, if you're Mike Elko, look at the transfer portal right now. Is there something better in it that I can get that would take this team to the next step? Because I'm telling you, Texas A&M, they've tasted 11 wins. And now they're like, okay, this is the norm. Like this school is starving. I mean, this is the best season, I think, in A&M. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, in A&M history, right?
I think they have a national championship in like the 40s, like
Yeah.
41. But I mean, in the modern era, I
In
mean,
the
11
modern era,
to
like,
finish the regular season 11-1,
yeah,
outside of like the Johnny years, which were probably more exciting.
yeah,
Um, yeah, this is one of the best A&M seasons in a long time.
yeah. I mean, for sure, this was a great season. I think the Johnny years were exciting, but also it's like, all right, like this is something substantial as a team. Like we're winning their success. I think that if you can, I hate to say his name, but if DJ Lagway is available, I think that he would make your team, or not even DJ. I mean, there's just some guys in the portal that I would be like, interesting, and like Marcel's cool, but also it's kind of shown me like what he is, as just a pocket passer, and he's going to get better, but are you willing to wait and have that patience, or do you want to go get a proven commodity from passing? Because you're going to have
Yeah.
to. I mean, Mario's going to need that football. They did a great job, but like he was nowhere to be found. Like it was a lot of double coverage, a lot of two safety shell up high. Like it was nuts, bro. But overall, I thought that Miami they did just enough. I thought Mario Cristobal would Mario Cristobal this thing. I did, and he almost did. Honestly, like if it
Mhm.
wasn't for poor judgment, let me ask: if you were say A&M scored and made it 9-10, would you have gone for two? Or taking it to overtime, given that situation?
How
'Cause
much it would have
outside
depended on how much time was left.
it would have been
Um,
20 seconds.
I
And
wanna
you gotta
say
think
yes.
Miami didn't have timeouts, I don't think. Well, no, they might have. They might have.
Yeah. I wanna say yes, but I also like because I mean, if I don't know, Colin Klein and yeah, I think I would've.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think I
I
would've.
just I would have too, just because I just knew that the situation of the game and knew my defense was gonna bow up. It was
Mm,
just it was one of those heavyweight fight games. So we're gonna preview, of course, our next show. You know, Miami and Ohio State, but it was an awesome game. And then the group of five games, I will tell you. So I made some fried fish with the
mhm.
boys this past weekend in the A, and we was
Yeah,
making some wings. It was a good time.
yeah.
This was the snooze game, bro. Tulane and Ole Miss, bro. This honestly set back the outside of P4 schools to me. Like I think the you remember the game UGA and of course TCU. You remember that like yesterday when they were eating
Yeah.
chicken wings in the fourth quarter. We gotta get out of this, bro.
I I mean, I just
It's
we all
not fair.
knew we all knew this was coming, right?
Yeah, we did, but it's just
Like,
like it was a it's like seeing a car accident about to happen in real time,
yeah,
and you're just like, man, like I should do something. I should do. Oh, you
yeah.
just hit that car.
It,
It's
it's
like,
like it's like watching somebody look down the like at a fire at a water hose after the water's been turned on and it just hadn't made it to the end yet. But it's like I know how this. You're gonna get hit in the face.
yeah,
You're gonna have water all over your face, and we're gonna sit
yeah.
here and laugh at you. And again, like everything that we've said about this, everything we've said about the G5 teams, everything that everybody has all said about the G5 teams, it's not it's not taking shots at Tulane and James Madison. It's
Mhm.
not because all they did was line up and play football every game they were asked to this season, and they ended up in a spot because of a format that they probably shouldn't have been in. And I don't want to beat a dead horse, man, but like it could have been Notre Dame and BYU.
It should have been Notre Dame and BYU. Let's just call it what it was. Like it
Like,
should have been those 2 teams. I mean, I think that you got a team sitting at home that's only lost to Texas Tech twice.
yeah,
Then you also have Notre Dame, which now that Miami lost looks better and better and better because it's just like, wow, what if Miami's really good? I
yeah.
just
Well, I
think
mean, it's yeah. That I'm trying not to get like emotionally charged about it
I know, bro. It's
because it's
tough.
very easy to get emotionally charged about it, but at the same time, me being emotionally charged about it's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
And again, I'll say the same thing I've said for weeks now. I think we should just take the top 12 teams. And if one of those teams or two of those teams just happen to be G5 teams, so be it. If they win and play a good enough schedule to get themselves in that position, in that spot, I am more than happy to have a seat at the table prepared for them and say, all right, boys, you're going to compete for this. Same way Cincinnati did, man.
I think
And
we
go
need to
ahead.
go 16 teams. All of them have to have a conference. I'd say 16 teams. Seeding depends on conference championship, strength of schedule, all that. But like every single conference champion needs to be in, minus obviously like Pac-2 and stuff like
I
that.
I wouldn't even because Duke that means Duke was in. That would mean that you'd put Duke in this year,
Win
and
a
Duke
conference.
lost 5 games.
They won the conference. That's not their fault. That's not
No,
that
but
is the ACC's fault.
it is the ACC's fault that they had a chance to play in that game.
Yeah.
And with all due respect to Duke, congratulations on the ACC title.
Manny Diaz, man.
You can't. I don't want to entertain the idea of someone losing almost half of their games and getting a shot at the playoff.
Yeah.
I am out on that. I am totally out on that. I and that is because my whole root basis for everything that I feel like the playoffs should be is the value of the regular season and what you do from August to December and how you do it
body of work.
and do what.
Your whole body of work.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that should be the most important thing is how you handled everybody that you lined up and played against. And I don't think we're doing that in the current system.
Yes.
I don't think we're doing that. I think we are catering to conferences and teams for whatever reason in the sake of inclusion, and I already know how this is going to end up. Instead of us trying to fix a 12 team format, we're just going to keep the same rules and we're going to move to 16 and we're going to be like adding 4 more teams will fix the issue, and it won't. It'll just move the problem down the line, and instead of us arguing about 11 and 12, we'll be arguing about 15 and 16. And I'm out on that. I'm out on that because I love college football. It's my favorite sport in the world. It's the only sport I really watch on a consistent basis, and I just want to see the best of it.
Yeah.
And I think the top 12 teams being the ones that get in is a step towards that.
I
Personally,
mean, I think that in quick on Ole Miss. I mean, I want to give a shout out to Charlie Weiss Jr. for what he was able to do. I mean, he called such a good game. I think he
oh yeah,
heard a lot of noise about, hey, this is Lane Kiffin's offense. And no, it looked like it didn't skip a beat. I mean, the defense was very opportunistic, although it was Tulane. We get it, and I think that Tulane did what they could, but the talent depth started to show. I thought they ran the football extremely well, but again, I just think the defense, specifically on the edges. I mean, you got mismatches. I mean, you got your veteran pass rushers for Ole Miss going up against redshirt freshmen on that O line for Tulane. Like it became a little bit too much. So, I think Ole Miss in Georgia. I mean, I think that's going to be to me a fight. I mean,
oh yeah,
we talked about our favorite matchups. I can't wait to see that one again. We're gonna see real time. Is Pete Golding is he ready for this moment? Because he is a Saban disciple, technically. You know,
hmm
Kirby is the ultimate Saban disciple. Like we're gonna see, like, all right, like are you built for this moment? Yes or no? We'll preview that. But yeah, overall, bro, I just it was a snooze fest, but like I appreciated the effort.
yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I applaud JMU and Tulane for making it this far. Um, but I mean, the way that Ole Miss was able to just slice through their defense on the first couple of drives, I was like, oh, here we go,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
And also, dude, shout out to Pete Golding. Did you hear the response? Like I mean, just the way they were shouting, Pete, Pete, Pete. That's got to feel so good, you know.
Yeah, bro. It
Um,
has to. Considering everything, like it's good for him. And
yeah,
uh, we talked, and I was telling you before we kicked off, is like, bro, with Oregon and James Madison, it was clear in the first 6 minutes what was about to happen.
yeah,
You know, it was like Dante Moore to me now can officially declare to come out. I think he's gonna need to sit.
mhm.
I think he's gonna need to sit. Like if I'm Dante, if I get a first round grade, I'm gone. But like if he comes back to school, I completely understand.
Yeah,
I get it because like
yeah.
I mean, at this moment, I don't think you need to rush to get to the NFL to get into a bad situation. Like I see guys like Anthony Richardson, who we knew was going to be a project. I think Dante's a well more advanced passer, but like you just don't have to rush it. And I think that Oregon, they did what they had to do, but James Madison to me is getting like my helmet sticker of the week because they fought like nobody's business in the second half and at least tried to keep it interesting. Like I know it was a high scoring game. I know that these boys, I mean, they just did not have the guns to compete at that high of a level.
No,
They just didn't have it, Jay.
no, they don't, man, and that's another that's another product of the current model we're in is when you get a team like that 2021. Um, I may be throwing the year out wrong, but that Cincinnati team that made the college football playoff,
Yeah, yeah,
when you get a team like that in the G5 that can get to that if they keep the roster together, they just get picked apart
yeah.
and they get pulled to go play at at Power Four schools. Like one kid's going to Missouri, one kid's going to USC, one kid's going to Ohio State, one kid's and the roster just gets picked apart because the landscape of college football, like people want to talk about, hey, put these G5 teams in here because you never know what could happen. I'm like, yeah, you didn't know what could happen a few years ago when a G5 roster would actually stay together and they could grow together and they could become a veteran laden G5 team and they could take on a team that had a massive talent gap in them. But now, any player that gets any kind of stars or any kind of has a good season, anybody that had a great season at JMU this year, gone. Same with Tulane. And that's another issue with the landscape of the sport is like JMU couldn't compete because that's where we're at right now.
It's
And
unfortunate too.
it sucks, but it's you saw it play out on the field.
Yeah. And this is just where we're at. And it's like, I think that there's blessings and curses to it. And that's honestly why I almost not want to. I don't know, man. There just needs to be a different because Oregon money and James Madison money are two different monies. Like you can't compete. Like that's just not fair. And it almost
Yeah.
feels like we're cheating the game a little bit. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, we're well, I mean, it feels like we're setting these rules and then not paying attention to like the landscape of the sport.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Hey, we're going to make it this way." Why would we do that? Well, because we want to. Yeah, but look at all these other issues that are going to factor into that. Yeah, but we don't care. We want to do that. Okay. Okay.
No, man. And Oregon's gonna have this matchup with Texas Tech. I think these are two top 10 NIL collectives together. I mean, I'm excited. I think that and we'll talk about it, but your boy Dan Lanning, that's my dog. Um, man, I think now is the time. I mean, I think now is like, all right, like take the step, and we'll see. I mean, Texas Tech is that's going to be a hard out, but I for sure am with you. I mean, I said Georgia, Ole Miss, but this Oregon and Texas Tech is going to be it's going to be something.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I'm very excited for that game. And it's also well, like we're going to find out if Oregon is trying to Oregon's been trying to do what Oregon's been trying to avoid what happened to them last year with the first round exit. Dan Lanning's come out with this formula of trying to make Oregon peak at the right time.
Yeah,
And I know that's you hear that a lot about teams and not just in football, but like any kind of playoff format. You want to be playing your best ball. We will certainly find out when they line up to play Texas Tech because that is going to be a nasty D line, um, and I want to see how Dante Moore handles it.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, man, this is it's sad because it's like the end of our favorite sport, but it's great to you know chat it up about it. So
Yep.
well, I'm looking forward to our recap and some good ball. The holidays are going to be awesome. I'm excited for it. And Brother, any plans, man? What you got going on for Christmas?
Oh, wrapping presents, playing Santa Claus.
Same, man.
You know, helping, yeah, helping give the experience that I was given as a kid to two kids, and not my kids, brother's kids, but yeah, making sure they get all those memories. So
That's what it's about, man. Yeah, I'll be headed out to see my parents tomorrow, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing, brother. So Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to our listeners, man. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, following on all platforms at Chatted Up Sports. We are going to have some news here, I'd say in a couple of days, man.
just a
We've been
few.
sitting on some stuff, and we're excited that bigger and better is on the way as we head into 2026, and definitely be tuned in next week for a full recap of college football and, of course, a loaded NFL weekend. And make sure that you guys leave some cookies out for Santa and all the things, man. We appreciate you guys. Jay, I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, dog.
All right, it's another Chatted Up Sports episode. See you guys.